And good evening and welcome in to Top of the River here in Anniston for FNN's Tuesday night high school football coaches show. Jim Jacobs to my left, James Hardy to my right, in his purple, Joe Medley, and I've got the purple story already, so I'm mighty proud of him for the reason he's donning purple.
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and tell it?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, when I was 6 years old, I lived right down the street from an uncle and aunt, and I was at their house a lot because they had a daughter that was close in age to me. And one day I was nosing around, and I opened up a jewelry case, and there was my uncle's Purple Heart. And, come to find out that this was 1971 when I was 6 years old, by the way, long time ago. But, he was a middle-aged man at that point, and, come to find out he had served in World War II. He was wounded in France, had a piece of shrapnel that kind of went in kind of under, inside his jawbone, between his throat and his jawbone, exited his forehead, and had some lifelong consequences for him. But
he lived to tell about it.
But he lived to tell about it, and he walked to the aid station.
Do you know which battle that occurred in France?
I don't. He didn't specify that to me, but he told me the story. And when he showed me the scars, they were there. I just had never noticed them before.
Wow, that's an incredible story, and that's why Joe likes to wear purple so much. And for no common reason, that's why he likes the Minnesota Vikings.
That's one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. Okay. All right, let's get back to high school football. Welcome into, is this week 3 for us? I think so. So
unless you count 0.
Well,
Exactly.
We started on the 26th, and I know we've been going every Tuesday since, and I think this is the third time we've been here on Tuesday, so we'll go with week 3. Glad to have everybody watching in with us tonight here, wherever you're watching, on Facebook, the FNN app, and any of our other streaming platforms. And if you've got us on TV, of course, you're using either Roku or Apple TV or Amazon Fire to pull us in, and we appreciate you taking the time to watch us in everywhere in everything we do each and every week. And, of course, we had a kind of a special Monday night last night, and Joe, James, I got to be honest with you, I was impressed with flag football.
I was too, and I think for a lot of reasons that high school and college softball have, at least for softball, the sport of softball in our state and in the South in particular, the last 20 years or so now has grown in popularity. I think for a lot of the similar reasons as far as the pace of play especially, I could see flag football on the girls' side becoming a really increasingly popular sport in our state.
Yeah, I think so. And, Joe, I think there's some pretty good funding for some of that coming from the NFL, isn't it?
Yeah. And a couple of years ago, Oxford was in the state final.
Right.
And so it's already kind of, the seed's been planted here, and we'll see if it grows some more teams.
And it's interesting. I was talking to Coach Gaines from Moody about this the other day. I asked him how it might feel to not have the best football team on his campus. Of course, he laughed, but then he was real quick to point out how hard those girls work, and they keep some odd days and times to play games, and they also do the 3-round robin thing where they
the tri-match.
And we didn't see that last night, but we saw what has got to be one of the best girls flag teams in the state in the Moody Blue Devils. Of course, they played for it last year in the 1A, 5A bracket, did not get the W, but would not surprise me for them to be back in the Super 7 this year and have a good shot at doing it. It's an interesting game, Joe, the strategy, because it seems to be, or to me, in watching it yesterday, you take the shots short downfield to move the ball, and you lull your competitor to sleep and then go over the top.
And if you've got a quarterback that can throw that.
Yep. And Moody does.
That is.
But great hospitality from the folks up at Boaz, our first time there to really do anything other than some basketball last year. And coaches and all were just as hospitable as they could be, and we appreciate that a whole lot. All right, this past Friday, we were at
Jacksonville.
Yep. Saw one of the top teams in the state in the Moody Blue Devils. They pretty much, kind of played dead even in the first half, and then Moody kind of, got on the pedal in the second half and pulled away. But, a lot of people say Moody's the odds-on favorite for 5A, and I know they're going to be in the conversation because of the talent they have. But, James, we saw a lot of things at that football game that could make you think that in a close matchup with an equal opponent, Moody does a lot of things to shoot themselves in the foot, and I know Coach Gaines is going to get that cleaned up.
Well, I can just remember even when Jake Gaines went to talk with our Shasta Jones after the game, he still didn't seem real thrilled with how his team performed, even in what turned out to be a sizable win on Friday night. In that second quarter, they had 7 penalties, a couple turnovers that led directly to both of Jacksonville's touchdowns in that first half. And, yeah, that's, to me, Moody, in my mind, they're the most talented team. You could go all across this state, in my mind, in 5A and not find a more, from top to bottom, talented team than what the Blue Devils had. It's just a matter of finding that consistency, especially when it comes to a consistency of discipline on the field.
Joe, and I think Jeremy Sullivan is going to be a good pick for Jacksonville. I like what I saw in the effort they gave in the game. And, they're down a few people right now, but they played hard, and they played Moody to a 14-14 tie at the half.
Yeah, and that's coming off the Alexandria game, which was a very physical game, and they had some injuries in that game, and they came back and played Moody a real competitive half.
All right, where'd you wind up Friday?
Friday. That was a few days ago. You actually kind of caught me at a loss.
We got to put a GPS.
Oh, I was at Oxford. I'm sorry. I was at Oxford in Shades Valley. And,
so you did the road trip then, didn't you? Or was it here?
It was here.
It was here.
It was here. Yeah, and I don't know why that didn't dial up on me right quickly, but yeah, I saw Oxford get their get well game, and and they look pretty good doing it.
Well, to me, we saw them in the first game, and we thought they looked good. They just didn't win. In the second game, I think they probably – how can you have players like Jalen Taylor and Kalen Britt and not look good? They're definitely D1 type ball players. And, we were very impressed with the young Mims that has stepped in his brother's shoes to take over at quarterback. First game he played, first meaningful snaps as the guy. We thought he played pretty well, James.
I thought he played really well his first game, especially to take over from someone in Mason Mims that was as outstanding as he was, to be able to follow, at least take the reins and perform as well as he did, even though they didn't come out with the winning margin in that season opener against Central Carrollton. It was still, at least as far as a good step forward individually for Maddox that particular Friday night.
We've got a great game for you for the game of the week this coming Friday. We get to stay in town, go to Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium, and we're going to bring you all the action of Alexandria and Anniston. And, the excitement level for this one's about a 10,
Oh, yeah. It may even be an 11 when you consider just, especially for early in the season, even for a region contest, how important this game is as far as even just setting the tone for the rest of the season for both of these teams.
I told Joe here earlier off camera that I believe this game, the winner will lock themselves into a home round playoff game.
I think that's a fair statement to make.
And of course, it has region championship implications because, you got some really good teams in this region, and there's a lot of football left to be played. But I think Anniston and Alexandria are at the top of the list.
I think definitely, and I wouldn't count out Hokes Bluff as far as from what we saw at Southside.
Yeah. A methodical team.
I tell you what, that game from a coaching standpoint with Coach Rob and how his coaches and players managed that game was just a thing of beauty.
Yep, it really was. All right, Jake, put up our guest list, and we'll get to our first break of the night and then get our first team in, of course. Rico is going to be here. Coach Rico Jackson from Anniston will be here to talk about the big game Friday night. Coach Skylar Mansfield could not make the trip. He had to go fill in at a B-team game down in Childersburg tonight for the Winterboro team. So he's not here, but his players are, including the player of the week, Jamari Nix, and he had quite a Friday this past week. And, of course, Coach Rob is here with us tonight along with the Hokes Bluff Eagles, and we're always glad to have him in the house. It's always good conversation. Well, Joe, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll get to a break, and we'll be right back, starting off with the Winterboro Bulldogs when we continue here on the Friday Night Network.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Right back at you for segment 2 of tonight's FNN Coaches Show from Top of the River here in North Anniston. Jim Jacobs, James Hardy, and our Player of the Week for, now this is going to get confusing, week 2 of the high school football season, although it's week 3 for us being here doing a show. Jamari Nix from the Winterboro Bulldogs, who just showed out this past Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Were you thrilled with it?
Yes, sir.
Or was it
Yes,
just
sir.
a normal night for you?
I was thrilled with it.
Tell me how you feel as a player when you have an average night. You know, you basically go to the locker room, feel like, hey, I did my job.
Yes, sir.
Compared to what you did this past Friday night, which was an exceptional night with 4 touchdowns, 198 yards of rushing. I mean, you put on a show for the fans down Bulldog Country. What's the difference? Do you feel any different between the two?
Well, always the first thing we got to do, we got to get the main thing done for the team. So if I did that, I feel like that's either an average night or a good night for me. But it's always better when you can get 4 touchdowns while doing it. So yeah, it's definitely better scoring a lot of touchdowns, for helping the team as well. Doing it at the same time, that's having a good game to me, in my opinion. So,
you know, after the second one, James, he probably said, "Well, I've been here before." You obviously touch the ball a lot in what Coach Mansfield likes to do with your offense. Talk about that a little bit, about how you do run plays compared to pass plays and how they work you into all that. I mean, are you doing these runs out of the backfield, out of a set, or are you coming off your wide out position to get the ball, or how are they setting you up?
Honestly, it's a lot of ways that we get the ball in my hands. I mean, we can come off a motion, we can come off a jet. I mean, we got some good coaches. We got a good OC. We just got good coaches. They got good formation, get us into the best position to score.
Right.
They send me off motions. They'll probably get me. I go out the backfield sometimes. Sometimes I actually line up at running back. So just being an athlete, making plays.
Of those 4 touchdowns, is there any one that really stands out to you from this past Friday?
Honestly, I would say the last one. The last one, I came off a jet, and then I came all the way to this side, to the left sideline. It came all the way back. They cut it back up the field, back to the left, scored a touchdown. So I'll say that was the best one in my opinion.
You know, Jamari, you're a young man. You got a lot of life in front of you. Your team has gone through some tough times. You've lost a friend. You know, the tornado basically tore your facilities up. You're having to go to Childersburg to play your home games, which I know you guys hate because, I mean, Winterboro and Childersburg, the only thing they have in common is blue.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
I've seen that rivalry before. What's the attitude like, not only on the team but within the school with what you guys have gone through?
Man, it's like a big family. You know, we all going through this thing together. We push through it together as a team and a family community. The whole Winterboro community is feeling Kenny's loss. So on that note, I want to say long live Kenny, man. He was a great person. Great person to be around, great friend, great teammate. He always brought great energy. So I say long live him, and we working through it as a community, not just a school and a team, but as a community. It was a community's loss.
Well, you know, and another thing I want to say on the heels of that, because this literally, I mean, when I heard about this, it literally broke my heart for your community and especially your ball team and your coaches.
Sir.
To the young men out there, the players, and even the people that aren't dressing out, young people don't need to be around handguns and guns that can cause what happened to Kenny. I mean, if you're in a group and you see it, get away from the group because nothing good can come from it. And I know that's been a conversation that's probably been had with you guys a lot, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we need to hand out some hardware. You've already touched this once in the picture session we had, but congratulations on being named the Week 2 Talladega Short Track FNN Player of the Week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You ever been dirt track racing?
No, sir. I never been.
You want to go?
It sounds fun. Sounds like something I enjoy.
I'm gonna get you some tickets, and you and your buddies can go. Okay?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Who'd you bring with you tonight? Who are your friends?
I brought senior Jalarian Garrett, quarterback. He's the captain of the offense.
He's the man.
Yes, sir. Leading the offense. That we brought our senior wide receiver and safety. Kamundi had a great game. Had 3 interceptions. 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Man,
showing out.
We got some dogs on our team.
You certainly do. The Winterboro Bulldogs. We're going to get those guys up here. I'm going to step aside, and James is going to have a few words with all of the players from Winterboro that are here tonight when we continue on the Tuesday night high school football coaches show from Top of the River.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
We continue on tonight's edition of the FNN Coaches Show. James Hardy with you as we continue our spotlight on Winterboro as they are at 2-0 on the season. And at least what's been a very tough year as far as not only just the Winterboro High School community, but the Winterboro community in general. But at least the football program off to a good start as we've already given some hardware to Jamari Nix, our FNN Player of the Week, courtesy of our friends at Talladega Short Track. And we have a couple of more of the Winterboro players with us in Jalarian Garrett and Kamani Robinson with us. A big thanks to all three of you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
And then, Jamari, I want to pick up at least where we kind of left off as far as just kind of, I know we talked about as far as just the overall dynamics of the adversity y'all have gone through. Just how much has the football program just been able to allow the community to kind of heal and move forward?
Well, we're doing special things for Kenny, showing as much. I know their senior class, they're doing a lot of stuff. But I mean, that's a big loss for them. Even though that was my teammate, but that was their classmate. They grew up with them, or they grew up with Kenny, and we're doing like community. I know they did a balloon release the other day, so just doing those things to remember. He'll never be forgotten though.
Talk about your teammates that you got with you today.
We got Jalarian Garrett, senior quarterback, captain of the offense, and we got Kamani Robinson, wide receiver and safety.
All right, let's start with Kamani. Let's go ahead and get him on here as far as Kamani Robinson. How's the season been for you so far?
Season been good.
What's made it a fun season for you?
Just, just being with the team, just playing, having fun.
And then kind of describe last week, high-scoring ball game, but on the road, able to get another W to continue your undefeated start. Just kind of talk about what went well on Friday night.
We had got out there to do what we do. Got out there to execute on defense. We scored a lot, Then we had to just execute a lot.
What would you say if we were to come out and watch y'all play? What would we discover as far as the identity of this Winterboro team?
Can you say that question again?
Sure. Let's say if any one of us went out and watched y'all play, watch your squad play on any Friday night, what would we take away as far as maybe something we could identify as far as maybe this is what Winterboro football is about?
You would say we were hard working, like we hustle a lot. We get out there, we listen to our coach, we discipline.
And now let's get Jalarian in. And Jalarian, just how's early in the football season, of course, but how's the first couple of weeks gone for you?
For me, the couple of weeks been good for me. Being able to control the offense, get the receivers lined up, getting a call from the OC, being in control of the offense, getting the ball where it needs to be.
So, talk about being captain of the team, especially if you're side of the ball.
Get to control them, get them lined up, tell them where they wrong and where they right at, fix the corrections.
And then obviously, a quarterback position, very important as far as just that leadership status for the entire team. But how much extra emphasis as far as your role as a leader does being a captain add for you?
It adds a lot, being a leader, making sure the young guys doing what they're supposed to do, having control of the whole football team as a senior, as a leader, as a captain of the whole football team, including the offense.
And then kind of take us to just prior to the season, your off-season, especially your fall practice. What are some of those goals that you set for yourself that you want to be able to do this year, and where do you think you are as far as that journey to get to where you want to get as a quarterback?
The goal that I set for passing yards, I'm halfway there. My goal was for passing yards to get over 1,000, and I'm halfway there.
I know we just documented just how well Jamari did this week, but just discuss further for us just how great a football player he is.
He's a really good football player. He really can get anywhere he can on the field. He know how to He know how to terrorize the defense.
And so, Jamari, just what are some of your goals going forward? I know you already got some hardware as far as an outstanding performance, almost a 200-yard performance this week with 4 touchdowns. But just where do you want what are the goals that you want to be able to accomplish this year?
Well, for the team, we want to win state. That's all real. That's the first thing we want to. That's the first thing we want to do. But personally, I want to be better than last year. I had some pretty good numbers last year, but I want to advance that to some great numbers. Think about like 2,000 all-purpose yards this season, and just be better than last year.
I know we kind of talked about with you in the prior segment, of course, with the tornado going through that. I mean, that's messed up as far as just the whole routine of being able to know that you're going to have a certain number of home games. You're basically on the road every week this year. Just kind of talk about maybe how that's kind of disrupted as far as just, hey, knowing that. How has the team been able to handle that as far as just the adversity of knowing now that you're going to have to even when you're quote unquote at home, you're not playing at home at any point during the season?
Well, we still got the same job, still got the same thing we got to do. I feel like it's not really affecting us at all. We still know the main goal and what we have to accomplish. So even if that's on the road or at home, we still gonna get the job done.
Talk about as far as just also how good can this team be when y'all are clicking on all cylinders?
When we're clicking at all cylinders, we're a very dangerous team. It's too much talent for us not to be dangerous as an offense or defense. So we can play fast. That's our main thing. We play fast, explosive, and that's just what we do. When we clicking on all cylinders, we're very dangerous as a team.
And then, Jalarian, just kind of talk about the coaching staff as far as that y'all got this year, just what they bring to the table for y'all. And is also coming into the season, what were their points of emphasis for y'all as far as coming into the year?
First off, I want to bring up Coach Mansfield, the head coach. He has a good OC, Coach Mason. He pretty much changed up the offense for me. He really basically changed the offense for me. We got a smooth offense. We can get the ball wherever we need to. We're capable of getting the ball anywhere on the field, any position, left hash, right hash, anywhere on the field. Then the defensive coach, Coach Lipham, he know how to adjust to the offense. He know how to make the right calls. He got good play calls for the opposing team. We got a good O-line coach, Khalil Keefe. He got a good D-line O-line coach. And our DBs for the Coach Gilmer, he coached them good.
And then, Jalarian, you as a quarterback, what do you think's your strong suit, especially at quarterback?
My strong suit? Probably my strong suit. I can know what the defense is doing, but like go up to the O-line, know what the defense said is, know what they already finna do. And then I got in my mind, they finna do this, they finna do that. Okay, I can get the ball there,
So reading defense is almost kind of the chess match part of being a quarterback? Is there any influences as far as that you look up to as far as being quarterback? And then let's also get Kamani back in before we go. And then kind of detail for us how long have you been playing the wide receiver position?
I've been playing wide receiver since I've been like in 8th grade.
So you've been playing a while then?
Yes, sir.
How have you improved from that time forward as a receiver?
I've got faster, more explosive. My hands got better. I can read the defense better, know where I can go.
I know Jalarian was talking about reading defenses himself at the quarterback position. That seems, especially for the offensive side for your team, that really seems to be that sounds like, at least to me, a key aspect as far as what the coach is trying to emphasize to y'all.
Yes, sir.
And then also just kind of talk about we asked Jamari, and I want to hear from y'all as far as just the type of impact, especially with what y'all have been through this year, just the type of impact that y'all are able to make, especially on Friday nights, just to be able to at least give some positive spirits to the community with how y'all been playing this season.
When we go out, play, like from now on, we got to play for Kenny. we got to do everything we do for Kenny.
Talk about what Kenny meant to the team, to you and the team.
Kenny meant a lot. Kenny was a great person. He was a great player. Like, he brought energy to the field. He was just a real good person.
And then we'll close this off. Jamari, as far as to know, back on the road again. Seems to be. I mean, we know as far as just familiar being on the road. Kind of talk about this week as far as the trip to Fayetteville and what y'all are looking to get out of this Friday night.
We're looking to get a win. We just got to go down there, execute, do what we do. Do what we do, play football. We love the game, and we're just going to go execute, do our job, and that's it. We should pull out the dub.
Winterboro goes on the road to take on Fayetteville this week as they put a 2-0 record on the line. A big thanks again to Jamari, to Jalarian, and also to Kamani. A big thanks to all three of you for joining us, and good luck this Friday and the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We still have more to go. Don't forget to download the FNN app. Go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store as far as looking up. You can type in the search FNN Network. Download us as we have schedules for all of the teams in our region. And, of course, we stream our games of the week in the FNN Coaches Show live and on demand on the FNN app. We still have Hokes, Bluff, and Anniston still to come as the FNN Coaches Show rolls on from top of the river.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Back on our Tuesday night high school football coaches show here on FNN. Jim Jacobs joined now by Joe Medley from EA Sports Today. And the old green dinosaur himself, Coach Mike Robertson from the Hokes Bluff Eagles. And, Coach, I can't tell you what a joy it always is for us to have you on the show. You're definitely a Mount Rushmore kind of guy to us.
Well, you know, this comes with age, I guess. But I appreciate the compliments. But I've been a lucky guy, so I'll acknowledge that every time I'm interviewed.
You know, you tell us often when we get a chance to talk to you that, you know, you've gone from the website to run you off to naming the stadium after you.
That's a true story.
I know it is. And what I'd like to know is, what's it like going through that? I mean, this has been your home.
Well,
and you know, most football coaches don't get that.
Well, you know, it is my home, but, you know, the times it was bad, I knew there was a lot more positive than I was hearing from. So, you know, it hurts you personally, but, you know, it was still about the kids. You know, I was trying to keep the community together and the team together, and I think that was probably some of my best coaching when it comes to those kind of things. But I knew 95% of the population at Hokes Bluff still supported me. So, it's part of the job. Every job has negatives. You probably got some negatives, not many, Jim.
Yeah,
As good as you got it.
I've had a few.
Well, but anyway, I was lucky to have administration and backing from the positive people that got me through that.
And even when the 5% are loud, do you feel like there is just a lack of understanding about the real realities of high school sports related to some other levels of competition?
Yeah, well, I think it's pushed down from the pros to the college level that, if you don't produce now. I've seen so many coaches at so many of our schools in our county just turn coach over and over, change coach every 2 years. And I don't think that's best for the school and the programs to do that because, most of our schools, you're going to have some years where either the competition's really good and you're average, so they're better than you. Or maybe you just have a couple of years where there's not a lot of athletes in a class, and you hate to blame it on the kids. But I've never changed the way I coach. My practice schedules are the same. I was laughing. I looked at one yesterday, and 5 years ago, pretty much the same. So I haven't changed it, but it's just part of the job, and you got to realize that when you take a job like coaching, you're going to be criticized, and you just want to make sure the kids understand that's just part of athletics.
And even in a time when players are moving around more, it seems like, and I know that's perception, and people will laugh when you say that high schools it's really about the kids in your hallway. How much of it is still a percentage-wise? How much is that still true?
Well, it is. Today the loyalty and all those trust. I use the word trust a lot. Even my family or my school, the players. But you got to trust each other. But people just, that's not as important as it maybe once was. But I'm still very lucky at Hokes Bluff. We still have that more than a lot of communities, and that's probably why I'm still coaching because I do trust the people of Hokes Bluff, and it's still the players though. You got to have trust with your players, and I've just been so lucky.
Well, I don't know if it's that we've just gotten to know you and the mayor and some other people up there so well over the last few years, but your place is special. I mean, we go a lot of places, and I'll put Hokes Bluff up against any of them.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a compliment to our city government, our people, and like I said, we get upset we don't win, and just typical fans. But there's a line you don't need to cross, and I see it at college level. With Alabama losing that first game, just kind of disappointing. People making comments. But, they're making a lot more money, Jim, than I am. I just want you to know that at college level. But
yeah, Coach, I just want to remind you, in case you need to know this, you buy out it in $70 million.
No, sir. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let me ask you this question. I have sensed about you this season. I mean, normally when we get together, you'll find a way to pour mouth a little bit. That's just you. But now I have sensed in you this year, from media day on, a certain degree of confidence in this group you've got this year. Where you at? What do you feel about your team at this point? And you're in a crazy tough region.
Oh, no doubt. The SEC Central, I say all the time. But I don't know. We lost a lot of good players from last year. And I try not to talk about the past, and I tell the players, last year's gone, but we did lose a lot of good players. But we had some back. And I think, the guys coming back need to know, we've got to replace those guys. That's part of the whole process of high school and college. So I wanted to make sure our guys knew we have the potential to win games. We've won 2. But I was a little bit worried about that kind of thought process in spring training because I'm telling you, we lost 10 really good football players last year. Linemen, skilled people, linebackers, defensive backs, and you wonder, and the guys coming back's got to know, we've got people that's been working to be in that position. And so that was a little bit of it, but we're not quite where we need to be yet to play with the level of these guys, the Annistons, the Cherokee counties, Anniston, and, White Plains much improved this week. We've already talked about that a little bit off the air, but, it's, you just want to make sure the players understand we're capable of winning. And I think we kind of got that a little bit the first 2 weeks, but long ways to go.
A lot of ball left.
Do you agree with the perception in this region that there really are 4 teams that are capable of winning the region?
Well, I still think it's too early probably to say that. Anniston had a couple of big wins and I think they've won both games. I know they won one really big game. Of course, the regular ones, with Alexandria, Anniston, Cherokee counties. But then with White Plains, much improved new coach. Asheville, new coach. Coach Peavy did a great job against us last week, guys. He doesn't have the skill people he had last year, but they played us extremely hard. I mean, it was a tough game. So it's a little bit early for start naming who I think is the best, but, I think the top of the tier is still where it probably was last year.
Coach, I've said this a couple of times this season in different settings. Somebody out of that region is going to be lacking a place to go come November, and it's just kind of, I don't know, sad in a way that a team that's good enough to be a playoff team in other regions, maybe even host a home game in other regions, going to be sitting on the sidelines when the regular season's over.
Well, that was part of the region format, was to eliminate that, because it used to be using 4-team area, and they allowed to be 4 good teams, and 2 teams stay home. They thought maybe doing regions. That was what I was told, some of the reasoning for that. So, but I think you're right. We got caught in that in 3A a little bit. We were in there with the Piedmonts and the Ohatchees when they were, Coach Martin was over. We finished 5th 2 years by tiebreakers, and all 4 of those teams, they went way into the playoffs, and we're sitting there 5th, and, 5th don't pay. Don't pay at the game, but it makes every game important. Every week you got to go give your A game, or you're going to get beat. So I guess for the fans and so forth, and for you guys, it brings a little bit of an excitement. You don't have those weeks with the big blowouts. And
well,
so forth.
we've definitely got one this coming Friday. Ooh. That's for sure. Aren't you glad you aren't in that one?
Well, I'm worried enough about White Plains. I'm just going to tell you, we're not overlooking them at all. Coach does a great job, coming over from Jacksonville. You can, this week in scout film, and there's no doubt he's got them in the right places. He always has, and they're playing extremely hard. So, we're not taking it for granted. So if we don't win this week, no one's going to come say, Coach Rob, you overlooked them, because I haven't overlooked them. It's just getting them guys – couple of them guys standing over and make sure they don't overlook anybody anytime, because everybody's capable.
Now, Coach, I've seen you work. You don't have any trouble getting anybody's attention.
Well, they're 17, 18-year-olds, and sometimes, you got to wind them in a little bit like these big fish on the wall here. But we've had a good week of practice. We've got good, mature seniors. But I hope we show up and play, because White Plains is a lot better.
Yeah.
Bryce obviously was a big producer last year, a big producer this year. How much has he progressed as a player this year? What are you seeing out of him?
Well, I think he's stepped up a little more with leadership. Last year he was a junior. We had some really good seniors, and as a quarterback, he gets to talk more than anybody. And getting him to talk's always been such a quiet person, but he's stepped up, and along with the other seniors, Bray Davis is here with him tonight, but our seniors have done a good job. But Bryce has stepped up, been a little more vocal leader maybe at practice, and doing things that leadership does, fixing things, accepting sometimes responsibility if it don't go right. But he's already made some big plays for us.
Coach, you don't have a lot of pressure as far as a lot of kids that are looking at college opportunities, but that certainly changed with this transfer portal nonsense in college. It's keeping a lot of marginal kids from getting college opportunities. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think any of it is positive in a way. Obviously, it's about the players, always will be. But from the standpoint of just, fan base, you want to pull – even the pros are retaining players better than college. You know what I'm saying? If I pull for the Falcons, they kept most of their roster together. Alabama, they were pretty lucky this year, but you got other schools that, as a fan, well, I didn't know he was going to leave. I love our team. Why are they leaving and coming and going? I just don't see a lot of positive. Maybe helping the players, maybe get a little bit of money in their pocket, but is that positive? Sometimes I wonder, as a 21-year-old gets $100,000, hopefully they're getting good advice. But I don't know. I hope it don't get to our level.
And Coach, that if these guys are moving team year after year, education's not the first thing on their mind.
Well, Coach Saban got out for some reasons, probably only he knows. But I just speculate that there was some there was some reasoning from all that. You know, he got out of the pros for reasons I've been told, but again, I'm speculating on his thoughts. But you know,
well, I think he said that, you know, the meetings with potential players had turned to, you know, how much you going to pay me, and
yes, sir.
Am I going to get to play?
Yes, sir.
And you know, that certainly wasn't Nick's style.
Well, you know, athletics is supposed to be a teaching source for the rest of your life, because sports are going to end. I tell the guys all the time. Some of us, it ends in high school. Some get to play college. Some get to play pro. Very few, but it's going to end someday. And then your education and things you've been taught as a young person will carry you the rest of your life, and you just want to make sure that's still the case. And maybe we've lost some of that, but at Hokes Bluff we've got really good community, good families, and I feel like that we're still on that track of doing that. Our coaches are great, you know, all family guys, but all that together, you know, I don't think it's been for the best, but hopefully they're going to make some rule changes where I think they're going to have to contract college guys, Jim, and just, you know, make them commit for 2 years. But the words commitment, trust, hard work, teamwork, all the things. Loyalty. Trust is a big word in my vocabulary. But you know, can you trust a guy? You know, just because you didn't get your way this year, can I trust you to come back and work harder next year? You know, we've got a couple of guys playing this year that for 3 years they sat on the bench and they've worked hard. And, you know, if they'd been in college, they probably would have went somewhere else if they could have. So, you know, sticking it out, you know, they were talking about Mac Jones, quarterback position. You know, Alabama now showing they got 3 pretty good quarterbacks. Will they stay? Who knows? Somebody throws some money at them.
Well, the one that feels he's third on the list probably isn't going to stay.
Well, that's probably true. And, you know, quarterback's a different position, though, a little bit. You know, when you compare those positions to linemen and so forth. But, you know, staying and sitting through it. And Najee Harris, you know, he sat for 3 years, I think, before he really became a big player. But those things have changed, and it's just, I guess it's just part of the change of life.
By the way, Jim, have you heard of the general studies major?
Well, you know, and you know, a lot of people, you know, you hear old timers say, well, you know, they're getting paid, they're getting an education free. You hope they see it that way, but it's turned into a business, much like the pros. There's no doubt.
Well, and I can speak to this from personal experience. Those guys that sat on the bench for 2 or 3 years and didn't get to play a lot,
yes, sir.
All they're going to remember when they're twice their age now is the year they got to play.
Well, that's a good foul.
You know, I mean, and that comes to me what a coach's biggest role is. It doesn't have a darn thing to do with football. It has to do with being a man.
Well, yes,
you
sir.
know, and you know, teaching young men how to treat people and how to act in public, and you know, how to have a good life after high school and college.
Yes, sir. After athletics, you know, and you know, it's a sport and it's competition, but
no coach gets enough credit for that. None of you.
Well, I appreciate the thought. Most of the coaches I know, though, work hard at doing that.
Yep.
You know, we got to win. I mean, you know, the winning's the name of the game, because we don't win, they get websites to fire you. I can witness that, but you know, you want to win some. You know, I never want to see teams go 0 for 10 or 1-9, and I've been through that. You know, not 0 and 10, but 1-9 a couple of years, and that's really no fun. But it's you know, there needs to be fun involved. I think we lose that sometimes, but I tell the players we're having fun when we practice together and work together and talk together. Riding over here with Bray and Bryce talking about things, that's fun for me at my age, especially now. But, you know, it's a lot more fun to win, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
So I tell them, you know, if you really want to have a lot of fun, let's win. So, you know, it's just part of athletics.
I know you don't like to look ahead of the next game, but looking at your schedule, there's Anniston, Alexandria, and Cherokee County, three games in 4 weeks there. How tough is that, especially if you have like an injury?
Well, that's right. Staying healthy is important. It is at college level and the pro level. You know, if you get a couple guys hurt, you know, and you don't have quality depth. You know, we have depth. It's just, is it quality depth? And we work hard on that, you know, at practice. You know, I actually said it yesterday to some of the backup guys. We played a JV game. Hey, we want to see you tonight because you're one play from being in there against White Plains Friday night. You know, left guard gets hurt, you got to go in. And getting guys to realize that they're backups, sometimes it's difficult for a high school kid because, you know, he's sitting around going, I'm not a starter. And, you know, and I work hard at that. I do, and my coaches help me with that. And letting the guys know it's important. Even if you're third team, it's still important to get better mentally and physically. And, you're a part of the team. And I've always stressed that, I try to treat the 60th player like the first player. If they do something wrong, they're going to get chewed out, just like the main guys. But all that does correspond, it just works together as a team, and the players need to understand that.
Well, Coach, that little run there on that schedule, from where I sit, you got to win a couple of them.
We need to swap a couple weeks. You coach and let me talk. You going to call some plays, Jim? Send me some of them secret plays.
You want me to send you a play? I'll get one from you for Rico.
Well, I know he's got good plays. I don't even want to talk to him right now. He scares me even thinking about. But no, we're taking them one at a time, though. Talking about that, what your correct question was. 1 week at it. We're not overlooking White Plains. I promise you. I'm not. The assistant coaches are not. And hopefully we've got that over to our players, because score right now is 0-0.
There you
I
go.
tell the players that all the time. So we're tied at this time, and we're going to have to play good ball, and we got to go there. I don't think ever went over there where we just went over there and played a great game. 2 years ago we went over there. Everybody said, "Oh, y'all going to beat them." It's 0-0 in the first quarter. Bryce reminded me that today at practice. It's 0-0. So that just tells you, and like I said, they've made strides in the right direction. You can tell in their program.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, as always, it's great to have you here.
Well, I appreciate the invite.
Hopefully we're going to get over there and do a game before the year's over. We had you at Southside, of course, and you were methodical in winning that one.
Well, first games are crazy anyway, so we're just trying to survive. But our guys did a really good job as the game went along.
All right. Well, Coach Mike Robertson, he's still here. Yep.
30 years.
Yep. A long time, and he's definitely one of the best. If you ever wanted to just sit down with a football coach and have lunch, this would be one of my first choices right here. Coach Mike Robertson of the Hokes Bluff Eagles. He's brought a couple of guys along with him, and James is going to be right back with them when we continue here on the Friday Night Network.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
We continue our spotlight as far as the Hokes Bluff Eagles who come in at 2-0 on the season as they return to region play at home this Friday against White Plains. James Hardy with you, and we got a couple of the Hokes Bluff Eagles with us. Of course, we saw them not too long ago up at Southside for our second AHSAA game of the season, our third game of our F&N calendar, as Bryce Whitaker, the quarterback, as well as Braden Davis with us. Big thanks for both of you for joining us, and also at least congratulations on a good start so far this year.
Appreciate it.
And then, Bryce, I want to pick up where we left off with you prior to, or at least after, I should say, that win against Southside. You mentioned as far as just the respect you have for Coach Rob. Just kind of talk about, as far as not only just you, but for the team, what is it about Coach Robertson that just at least commands the respect that y'all have for him?
Yeah, I'll say this time and time again that He's more of like a life coach as he is a football coach because he preaches all the time that football's going to end one day for all of us. And then you have to be like fathers and raise kids, and there's going to be troubles in the world that you got to face, and he helps us face those problems starting now.
And Bray, I know just from my personal dealings with Coach Rob as far as our game prep, whenever we do a Hokes Bluff game, just one of the good guys as far as our sport.
Yeah, he really is just a great guy. He does teach us how to have good life skills in the future and be a good man after football's over.
Talk about Coach Rob, the football coach, though.
The football coach, he's going to push us every day. He's going to push us to be a better version of ourselves every day, and he's going to get on us if we're doing it wrong.
I heard the 0-0 reference as far as this week for y'all's assignment ahead against White Plains. I imagine he's done a pretty good job of making sure y'all are focused on the task at hand this week and not looking ahead to bigger games down the schedule, which it's just around the corner for y'all.
Yes, sir. The 0-0 mindset is really making sure that we don't overlook our opponent this week, because that's the main focus this week.
And then Bryce, kind of give us a scouting report on White Plains as far as what the coaches have given y'all as far as your opponent this week.
They're talented. I mean, people might say they're not, but they are. They've got, I can't remember, I think it's number 2, he's a receiver. He's really fast, and we've, adjusted to that and game plan for him. And we got to stop the run game. They've got a good run game, but we know what we got, and it's all about us. Coach Rob talks about it all the time. So if we do what we know we can do, I think we'll be fine.
But y'all played a solid South Side team that we saw you open the season with a convincing win, came right around, had just as convincing a win to begin your region schedule against Etowah. Just kind of talk about what's gone right for y'all to get to where you are as far as winning your first 2 ball games this year.
I'd say it's just all a mindset. We knew we lost a lot last year, and going into this year we might not have as much depth that we did last year, but we had to all come together and believe as a team that we know we can still be good. And it started this summer in the parking lot running, the weight room, all that stuff. We've had to come together, just fellowship, come tighter as a family, and then just carry that over to the football field.
Remind me, Bryce, how many seasons on the varsity squad you've had at Hokes Bluff?
This will be my 4th. I've played since freshman.
Kind of talk about as far as, I guess, describe in your mind, is this one maybe the best team, at least of the 4 seasons you've been a part of the Hokes Bluff varsity team? Is this the best that you've been a part of?
I'd be willing to say that, yeah. I mean, I'm really tight with this group right here, and that's the main thing. I'm just really tight with them. But last year we were super, super talented, so, I mean, I don't want to just say, yeah, we're better this year, but I'm really confident in this year's team.
Let me ask you, too, this way. There's a lot of potential going down the road for this team.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good. So, Bray, just kind of through your first 2 games, just how would you assess how, at least you as an individual football player, your season's gone so far?
Hard work, probably. Coming in every day at practice, knowing it's not going to be easy, just putting your nose down, gritting your teeth, and going to work every day at practice.
So who do you think, at least among your teammates, is the biggest competitor that y'all have got on the roster this year?
You talking like a friendship competition?
Yeah, we can go at that angle.
Like someone who pushes me?
Yeah.
On offense, I'm pushing with Bryce at the quarterback, and on defense, Connor Willingham probably pushes me to be my best.
What's the biggest strength of Bryce at quarterback?
His legs. He can run like no one I've ever seen.
I tell you, we saw that with his 4 scores against Southside, especially that 59-yard run I think you had in the beginning of the 3rd quarter that pretty much put that game away. I was really impressed as far as that win at Southside, how just y'all as a team from the play, even the managers all the way up to Coach Rob, how y'all managed that game, especially at the end of the 2nd quarter, into the 4th quarter for a season opener. You couldn't do much better as far as how you just milked that clock in the 2nd quarter, drove down the field, scored to take the lead going into halftime, and then almost kept the ball for 9 minutes to close out the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I give all props to him over there. I mean, that's something we prep for every single week. It's not like that was our first rodeo doing it. I mean, we prep for that weekly. So, he got us in position to be ready for that, and then we just executed.
I know, at least as far as modern football at all levels, from high school even at least Pee-wee level all the way up to the pros, it's pretty much spread offense is just about across the board now with the passing game and speed on the edges. How tough of a matchup is it for opposing teams as far as the offense that y'all play, knowing that really, especially when you line up in the eye, most teams really don't see that anymore, even the high school level?
Yeah, it's that. And then, man, me and my buddies talk about it all the time, and you know it's coming, but can you stop it? Because, I mean, like I just said, they know what's coming, but it's a whole different ball game to get in there and actually step in the box and go meet pulling guards, centers coming off the ball, all that type of stuff. So it's a whole different rodeo actually trying to stop it.
And then, Bray, describe behind the scenes how physical are practices up at Hokes Bluff?
Practices, I try to push people to be as physical and as hardworking, make them better as they can be. Our practice today was our most physical day at practice that we have throughout the week. We have what we call middle drill, and we do basically 7-on-7 interior linemen versus the box on the defense, full speed, go get them.
And so, at least away from the football field, for both of y'all, first for you, Bray, what do you enjoy doing away from the football field, like any hobbies like that?
I really just love hanging out with everybody. I know game day mornings, my grandmother, she cooks breakfast at her house, and about 15, 20 of us go, and we all eat there. I just love spending time with the guys.
What's the best thing that she cooks?
Chocolate chip pancakes, for sure.
Oh, all right. Mm-hmm. I think I need to come up there.
Come on.
Bryce, talk about same question for you as far as anything, like especially hobbies that you enjoy away from the football field.
I would just say overall just fellowshipping with the guys. 'Cause that's one thing I really like about football season because we're together so often. I mean, you go through a whole school day together, then right there you go to practice till 5 o'clock. So, I mean, I've been with them since 7 to 5. And then, heck, a bunch of them will come to my house after we'll hang out or, I don't know, go fishing, go skeet shooting, something like that. But, yeah, just fellowshipping with the guys. I love it.
So I know Bryce, who told us earlier in the season, told our Shasta Jones that coaching certainly is something that you're looking into as far as your personal future. Just kind of describe as far as the process of what's gotten you to that point as far as you having an interest that you do in coaching.
Well, it starts off with this community. I mean, I just love being around them. I could never imagine myself being away from them. Just growing up in this community, all the support the fans give, watching all these coaches and players play in this program, I can't leave it after this year. I feel like I just got to come back to it and help carry on the tradition. But, yeah, I don't want to leave this place.
So we could potentially see you in some role on the coaching staff at Hokes Bluff in your future.
That's the goal. I hope so.
Very, very. And I'll have to keep that in the back of my mind. How does playing quarterback help you as far as just being a coach on the field, let's say?
I mean, I feel like personally that, to be a quarterback, you have to be a really big leader. 'Cause, you got to know what's going on every single play. Sometimes you got to help with the lineman who to block. You got to read the defenses, audible, all that type of stuff. So just that leadership ability, I feel like the coaches have. So, that's going to definitely help me on that aspect.
All right, Bryce, put your coaching hat on. What does your team need to do to take some more steps forward when it comes to this 2025 season?
Just focusing every day on practice, getting better. That's the main thing. I feel like people don't realize how important practice is. It all starts there. Just getting better at practice in the weight room, and then just coming together and believing that we got a shot this year.
And then, Bray, could you see Bryce as a coach in his future?
I think I could, yeah.
What type of style of a coach do you think you envision him as?
He might spread it out a little bit, I think.
Okay. Very good, very good. Well, we'll find out as far as the futures for both Bryce and Bray, as well as the rest of the Hokes Bluff Eagles as they'll take on White Plains on Friday. But I imagine still a lot of impactful football for the Eagles coming up. A big thanks to both Bryce and Bray Davis for joining us as the Hokes Bluff Eagles look to keep their undefeated record intact this Friday at home against White Plains. We still have the Anniston Bulldogs to come up, and we'll be seeing Anniston as part of our F&N Game of the Week. A big game for them against Alexandria at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. We'll have a lot more about that as Rico Jackson comes to this table on the other side of this timeout.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
I don't know. After trying to really get a part of it, so I've been 3 years.
Back at Top of the River for another segment of our Tuesday night high school football coaches show. Jim Jacobs here along with Joe Medley from EA Sports Today. On my right and to my left, the head man of the Anniston Bulldogs, Coach Rico Jackson, here with us tonight. And of course, the excitement, Coach, is starting to permeate through town. It's a big game Friday night between you and Alexandria.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I told the kids today, I asked them, why is it a big game? And they were giving me a bunch of different answers. And I just was like, because it's the next game. So, I mean,
now, that's that coach speak.
No, that's not coach speak. It's the next game, and we're locked in, and Alexandria happens to be the next game. So
I know you have some size and physicality. Physicality is what they feel like is the big part of their game. Just how physical a game is this going to be Friday?
I hope it's more physical on our end. And, we've had 2 good days so far. We're looking to clean up tomorrow and finish strong. So we're excited about the opportunity to play and be at home for the first time this year.
Coach, I know that the proper answer for any coach is, okay, this is the next one, and you can't look past it. But when you get ready to play somebody like an Alexandria or, a top-tier region team, how do you break it down? I mean, what do you look for when you're trying to decide how you're going to approach the ball game?
I mean, the same way we do everyone. We did it last week against Asheville. I mean, we break them down to a T. We figure out what works and what doesn't work, and we go into a game, and sometimes what we think works doesn't work, so we have to adjust first, second quarter, halftime. Sometimes we think what works will work. So, I mean, it doesn't matter the opponent. It matters about us, how we're preparing and getting ready for the upcoming game.
One of the things about this region, aside from how strong it is you look at the top 4 teams and when they play each other, it works out on the schedule that I know you got 3 out of the next 4 are going to be Alexandria, Hokes, Bluff, and Cherokee County.
Pleasant Grove too, but I know that's in our region.
Coach, we don't care about that. That's not got nothing to do with the region.
Right. Well,
but I know you want. I know you want to do well and learn and get better from against a quality team. I mean, that's why you got them on the schedule.
No doubt.
But how? I don't know that I've ever seen a region this strong that's where so much is decided basically in the middle of the season.
Right.
And just how if you get an injury at the wrong time, I mean how decisive can that be?
Man, I heard Coach talk about it. The big thing now is just building depth, like just trying to find guys that in the event something happens, you can have someone step up. So you just try to build depth, try to practice smart, and practice hard, and make sure the kids are prepared.
Offensively, what is Anniston's strength?
Anything we wanted to be. I mean, and that's not as far as bragging.
I'm gonna hold you to that Friday night now.
Don't matter to me. But look, that's not as far as bragging about it. I mean, I feel like if we come to play, we can run the ball, we can throw the ball. I mean, we can quarterback run. I feel like we can screen game is strong. We got good receivers. We got a good offensive line. So that's not necessarily putting pressure on those guys. Just we're confident in what things that we can do.
How has Damon developed as a quarterback, and how much is Jamoris a factor in that situation too?
Man, DJ is we talked about it yesterday. I mean, I think he has a chance to be the player of the year. I think he's up to about 6 touchdowns already.
Wow.
The thing about him, sometimes he got to taste what the defense gives him. He wants to go big ball Charlie every play. But
instead of check down Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
The last game, we had a guy in the flats wide open, and I'm ready to yell at him, and he throws it deep, and it's a touchdown, so I kind of back off. But
no, yes.
Well,
yes.
that turned out all right.
Yes. J-Mo, we call him J-Mo. He does add value to us. We're mixing him in as well. He made some big runs last week. He's made some big throws, so it's a feel in the game as far as J-Mo coming in and DJ coming in or going out, but we never want to take one of them and make them ice cold, whatever the case may be. It's been kind of yin and yang. And this week I'm excited because everybody's back in the fold. Plainview, I held 10 out for Jamboree. First game I had 5 out, and last game I had like 3 out. So now this is the first game. I feel like we're in tow. So saying it to say, DJ was doing a lot of defensive work as well. So J-Mo was coming in, giving him a blow, but it was a good yin and yang.
And then your running game, the other side of that is with Jabari and what he has up front. Just how's that look this year?
Not just with Jabari. Quintavious Cunningham, he's back. He was one of the guys that was out. And, man, we got a player for Jaden Hurd. I mean, sometimes we even put J-Mo at running back. So sometimes we put DJ at running back. So we just, kind of mixing and matching. I'm a big believer in not putting us in a box. You got to prepare for everything. So, but Jabari, man, he plays how he practices. He's 100. People say, "How do you give me 110?" No, you can't. You only give 100, and he's 100 every play at practice, and it translates to the game.
Interesting. Coach, this next one's meant as a compliment, but it might not come across that way initially, okay? I've been around this area well over 20 years.
Okay.
And one of the things about Anniston's football that I've always noticed is there seems to always be a point in time during the year where there's a lot of what I call barbershop talk.
Okay.
A lot of yin and yang kind of stuff that quite frankly is not productive. My compliment to you is I think since you got here and whatever your style is or how you're handling things, I'm not hearing that right now and haven't heard it in your tenure. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I mean,
but it's got to be something in the way you manage the team or, you've got discipline, all of the things that make a community kind of feel good about the program.
I mean, my biggest thing is just love, and love doesn't mean soft. That's the opposite, actually. And I try to hold the kids accountable as much as I can. And we work hard. I work hard at my job because this is my craft. And I want to – at the end of the day, I know we have to go out and we have good players, which makes me a better coach, obviously. But I want to make sure the kids are prepared. We know what we're doing. And we have to depend on our 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And, I was telling my wife that the other day she was having some issues. I'm feeling frustrated about some things that were going on at her job. And I said, try mine when you got 15,000 people out there. And it's on public display. So,
yeah.
But we work really hard. The kids work really hard. I appreciate them. I'm just thankful for the group that we have.
Winning also helps, too.
Winning makes everything better.
You're always one loss away from a barbershop riot.
Right. Winning makes everything better.
Yeah, but that one loss to get him yelled at from the front row of the stands. I know how it works.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. What are you most excited about for the game coming up Friday night with Alexandria? I mean, to me, this is kind of maybe the first game you've had this season for you and really them too, that's going to kind of show you where you're really at.
Disagree with that. I think Beauregard is a sneaky good 5A team, really super athletic up front. Like they have 2 or 3 guys that nobody in our region has. And then we went on the road. They were a little young in spots though. What I'm excited about them having the opportunity Friday to show their skill set. I'm really excited for them to let people see how good I know they are. So that's what I'm excited for.
And how good is it just for the Calhoun County high school football scene that those two brands are two of the top brands in the county right now and playing at a high level?
Honestly, don't really care about them. It's all about us right now, so just being honest.
Well, hey, that's what you're here for, Coach.
Oh,
Tell us the deal.
I mean, it is what it is.
Well, another thing too that I want to point out to people is when you see the game Friday night and you haven't been to the stadium in a while, it's a different place, Coach.
It is. It is.
And I know you guys got to be proud of it.
We are. It's always good to go out and practice on the turf. We've kind of refurbished the scoreboard too as well.
Yep.
So that's a tribute to the past, and hopefully we can put some numbers on that scoreboard in both ways, points and championships. So we're excited about that. I'm just really, really excited to see the kids go out and perform, especially when you have great weeks of practice.
Who'd you bring with you tonight?
All right, so I brought Dariante Brooks Jr. He's number 0. He's our middle linebacker. He's really been turning the corner in a leadership role. Really been proud of him. He's also been playing well. And then also I brought Michael Cole. He's our starting left guard. Dariante is a 2-year starter. We call him junior. Michael is a 2-year starter at left guard. So I thought these guys, it was fitting to come. They like to eat a lot, so.
Well, this is the place for that.
Oh, you know that. No, but they're great kids. They work hard. They've really been leaders. We got a bunch of leaders on the team, but they're starting to understand their leadership roles. So
that's great.
I'm really proud of them.
Coach, we're super excited about coming to your place Friday night and showing the world what Anniston and Alexandria can do on the football field. And I know you want it to come out your way, but it's going to be a great game. I just got that feeling.
Okay. Sound like a plan to me.
All right. Well, we'll see you about 7 o'clock Friday night.
Sound good.
All right. Stand by. We'll have James come back and wrap us up with the players from Anniston when we continue here on the Friday Night Network.
It's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz. Get your best deal up front without the hassle. Like on a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab. Take up to $13,000 off MSRP or take 0% interest. New Silverado HDs are up to $8,000 off MSRP. Plus, we've got a great selection with many to choose from. Pick a truck and you're in luck. Come get your best deal because it's too hot to haggle at Chevrolet of Boaz.
Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
And we are approaching the finish line tonight for our FNN Coaches Show for this week, our third episode for the 2025 season. James Hardy with you, and we have a couple of the Anniston Bulldogs with us as they come in with an undefeated record, and they are our FNN High School Football Game of the Week this week, a big-time matchup against Alexandria. It's separated by just about 15 minutes or so of Highway 431, as it is a huge Class 4A Region 6 contest. And to help further break that down and a whole lot more is Dariante Brooks off to my right and Michael Cole off to my left. A big thanks to both of you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And let's start with you, Dariante. Not only a big game this week, but your first home game of the season. Y'all been on the road for the first couple of games.
Yes, sir.
Kind of talk about just how maybe relieved or how happy y'all are as far as finally getting a game on your home turf this week.
So I'm just ready to show what we can do.
ready to get back on our own field.
How would you judge I know a couple of wins already in the books on the road, but how would you judge as far as just the performance y'all think y'all have given as far as those first 2 weeks of the season?
I think we've been doing good. We ain't been our best, but we can do way better.
And then, Michael, as far as just kind of the same question for you, 2 weeks, 2 wins in the books, but kind of judge as far as maybe the good and the bad that's come out of those first 2 games so far.
Yes, sir. It has opened our eyes of what we could fix and get better for the next week.
What are some of those things y'all are looking to fix for this week?
It'd be like the minor stuff, like the penalties or like the wrong steps and what we do.
I know just from listening to Coach Jackson that he's really big as far as making sure that you can focus on the things you can control, as far as just at least pushing the distractions, the outside clutter away. Just kind of discuss as far as just what's been that emphasis that Coach Jackson has had, not just during the season, but for y'all coming into this season.
He basically was like, if we don't want to get in trouble, we want to continue to play, keep playing football, then stay in the house, just get in your own lane and stay out your way.
And then as far as some of the how's the season for you been individually?
It's been way better than last year so far, because last year was like my first year starting, and this year is just another recaps of last year, but way better.
What are those steps that you feel you have been able to take from last year to this year to get you to be a more effective football player?
Well, first I'd say my leadership on the O-line and helping those guys, make the right choices and moves on the field.
Now, you're on the offensive line. Can you describe the position on the offensive line that you play?
I play offensive guard. It's pretty important, especially if you got a pull or whatnot.
I was about to ask you as far as just what's kind of the importance of the offensive guard position, but you mentioned it as far as especially in the run game, being able to make those pulls that you need, especially on those off tackle and sweeps in the running game. And for Dariante, as far as same question for you, just how's the season gone in your eyes for you individually?
We're going pretty good. Like I said, we ain't been doing our best. We could do a lot better.
Kind of talk about maybe the steps forward that you've been able to take as far as yourself as a football player from last year to this year.
Like my kid said, having better leadership and leading the team through the right things, stay out of trouble.
And remind us where you play on the football field, what position?
I play linebacker, middle linebacker.
As far as and also, where do you think what's your best strength as a linebacker?
Stopping the run.
So you like to hit people, I imagine. Like to play physical.
Yes, sir.
And I imagine Alexandria, they're known for playing physical, so I imagine you might be really looking forward to this type of ball game this week.
Yes, sir.
And just going to talk about as far as just maybe what the coaches have been telling you all as far as what to expect from Alexandria this week.
Really, I just been in my own lane, watching film, getting ready for them.
And then, Michael, as far as going back to the Anniston Bulldogs, kind of talk about maybe some of the players that has really impressed you so far through the first couple of weeks.
The first player I say Jamoris Young, our other quarterback, and I say our other linebacker, Demers Almond. He has improved a lot too. And we have who I line up beside. We have a tackle, AJ Goodson. He done improved more from last year also.
And then talk about also Jabari Williams. I know we saw him a couple of years ago at Walter Wellborn have an outstanding season. And I imagine probably a pretty big impact as far as the offense goes.
Yes, sir. All he needs is a little room, then he gone. Just a little block.
And then also, let's go back to you, Dariante, as far as talk about Coach Jackson, especially when we don't get to see him, especially when it comes to practices leading up to those Friday nights.
Coach Jackson, he more than a coach. He just more than a coach. He gonna lead you to do the right things. If you need something, he got it. Anything you need, he'll be there for you.
I imagine a lot of life lessons and kind of a father figure.
Yes, sir.
And then back to you, Michael, as far as just Alexandria, what should we expect as far as maybe some of the game prep for this week that the coaches have given y'all as far as this week's opponent?
Well, we got to start as they're not the same team as last year. So, like, when we prepare for them, we just got to make sure that we come to play.
Of course, it's the next game, but also Alexandria is undefeated. Y'all are undefeated.
Yes,
a big game in region play. Y'all aren't separated by that far of a drive, maybe 15 minutes or so. How big of a game is it this week?
Oh, it's a big game, especially as a region game too.
What would a win do for y'all this week?
It'll push us up higher, and it'll make us want to play more and actually play harder too, knowing that we starting the year off right.
And I know y'all played some of your best football in the postseason last year, late in the season, in 2024. But if I remember right, early in the season last year, Alexandria was one of the bright spots as far as your regular season that went on the road. What was it like playing Alexandria as far as just maybe the style of play that y'all saw from them last year?
I know they linebackers, they're pretty good, and they come to play.
And then Dariante, we'll close out with this, and I'll ask you the same question too. How big of a week is it this week for y'all coming up this Friday night?
It's a huge week. Not only is the region game, but it's in this game. Taking one game at a time.
And there you see on our screen, we'll be seeing both Dariante and Michael out on the football field this Friday night as our countdown to kickoff begins, as always, at 6:30, and toe meets leather at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium at 7 o'clock. We'll be there with our FNN cameras, and I imagine we'll have quite a show to put out for you here on FNN. Don't forget to download the FNN Network app, as you can watch this Friday night's game on the FNN app, as well as our usual social media and live streaming outlets like YouTube and Facebook Live, Roku, among others. And there you see, a big thanks to all of the folks that help make the FNN Coaches Show possible each and every week. So for Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley, and for our guests from Winterboro, Hokes, Bluff, and Anniston, as we sign off and get to the finish line this Tuesday evening, James Hardy wishing you a great Tuesday night as you have been watching the FNN Coaches Show.